Kate Hudson, good morning.
Good morning.
You did a great job with your British accent, by the way.
Thank you.
You know, because I think when you know someone's American, you really kind of look out for
Yeah,
slips.
you're under a microscope.
Did you have a lot of training, Kate, to do that? Or?
I did. I studied for like a month before I went, and I took my lessons with a corset on.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so that I wouldn't get freaked. Well, because I would get freaked out when the corset got on, and then all of a sudden your voice does change.
Right, because all the air.
Your diaphragm. Yeah.
And you all of a sudden sort of talk like that, don't you?
Yeah. You used to talk a little bit higher.
So a lot of people I know have asked you, Kate, why did you decide to follow up Almost Famous with the role of Ethne in Four Feathers? Because you know, it must have been a tough decision because you were and still are in many ways sort of the new it girl. And I would think that you'd have to be very careful about picking your next role.
You know, I kind of look at it like I want to work with great directors. You know, I've got 21 years old is when I went and I shot this movie, and I have so much time, you know, to be able to do film. So I'd rather be involved in movies that mean something than movies that sort of that I would carry, or like it wasn't a big decision for me to go and work with Shaker Kapoor. It was like sort of, yeah, let's just go do it.
And not to mention you have a great cast of other actors in the movie, right? You have Heath Ledger, I mentioned Heath, who's really cute,
He's
I think.
Cutie,
Was he fun to work with?
He was so much fun. He's still fun. We have so much fun together, and he was so easy to work with and talented.
And some other impressive actors in the movie as well, right?
Wes Bentley and
who was from Wes Bentley from American Beauty, I wanted to mention, who has sort of the most haunting eyes, and he plays a very different kind of character in this movie.
Yeah, he does. And it's definitely a complicated film. You know, it's a very sophisticated movie with young actors, which is so rare to be able to be involved in when you're happy.
And when you say things are an epic, that word probably is a bit overused in modern day filmmaking.
But this is definitely an epic.
This really is. I mean, in terms of where it was shot, and it has a very Lawrence of Arabia feel because it takes place in Sudan in the late 1800s, where British officers and British soldiers were sent because Britain wanted to take over the world, basically, right?
Yeah.
And I guess the real conflict is your character, Harry. I mean, not your Ethne's fiance, Harry.
Right.
Decides he doesn't want to go, right?
Right. He doesn't understand why you go and fight. You know, why war has anything to do with the Queen or your country, and why. And he is afraid, so he resigns his commission, and all of his friends give him feathers of cowardice because, you know, at that time going to war was something that was necessary
and celebrated.
And celebrated, which is a strange concept.
Not only his friends sent him feathers, but
I do too.
Ethne does too, and she lives to regret that.
Definitely.
Meanwhile, he, of course, spends the rest of the film and for some period of time in his life trying to redeem himself.
Yeah, going undercover into the Sudan and sort of regaining his honor from his friends.
Did you enjoy, I mean, I always wonder, was it interesting for you to work on a movie like this that takes place in 19th century England, not only with the outfits and the corsets,
etc.? It's difficult for me because I was playing a character that makes decisions that a modern, or me being a woman in the 21st century wouldn't make those decisions, you know, and so it was hard to wrap my head around the importance of your status and reputation, it meant so much then, so much more than it would mean now, to give up your fiancé, a man you love, because he wouldn't go to war, you know.
Right.
So it was definitely challenging for me to sort of go into that time, and women played such a different role than we do now. So it was definitely challenging for me.
Well, it's a beautiful movie, and I know you've got two others coming out, which are very different in feel from the Four Feathers, so you're keeping busy, which is great. It's great to see you, Kate. I'm going to be talking to your mom, Goldie Hawn, a little bit later today about the Banger Sisters.
Good movie.
Yeah.
Really fun movie.
Your whole family's very busy. Anyway.
Opening the same weekend, which is weird.
I know you're going to be competing against your mom. Well, good luck. By the way, the Four Feathers and the Banger Sisters, since you mentioned it, opened this Friday. Up next, a special performance from that.